chosen one. Anchor your spirit to what I am about to reveal. The last 72 hours have felt incredibly strange. You feel a heavy atmosphere in your home. Conversations stop the moment you walk into the room. And you wake up at 3 in the morning with a weight on your chest you cannot explain to anyone. You are not imagining this shift. You are not being too sensitive. The enemy has been working overtime against you for one specific reason. He knows exactly what shifts the moment you receive these words. But you did not find this by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here today. This is a divine appointment, scheduled long ago. Your isolation was never a punishment. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal the exact reason heaven allowed this strange season to happen. I will expose the one quiet lie that has been keeping you trapped in a cycle of confusion. Once you see this truth, your reality will shift. The weight you carry will finally lift off your shoulders. And at the very end of this message, I will give you the specific declaration that seals everything God just spoke. You must stay with me to receive it. Do not click away. If you leave before the end, you walk away from the very verdict heaven prepared for you. Lock your attention right now. Your breakthrough is hiding in these next few minutes. I know exactly what you are feeling right now. The silence around you is incredibly loud. You look around your home, and everything feels entirely different because the energy shifted. The air in your room is thick, and even though nothing physically changed, you know deep down that something profound is happening behind the scenes. You sit there and wonder if you are just losing your mind. People you used to talk to are suddenly quiet. They pull away from you without any real explanation. You reach out to them, but the old connection is just gone. And you spend hours analyzing every conversation because you wonder if you did something wrong to push them away. The truth is, you did absolutely nothing wrong. You have always been the one giving to others. You listen to their problems for hours. You carry their heavy burdens. But when you finally need a shoulder to lean on, the room is completely empty and no one is there to help you. You are the safe space for everyone else. But who is the safe space for you? You feel like a total stranger in your own life. You walk through familiar places, but nothing feels the same anymore. The things that used to bring you comfort now just feel completely hollow. And it feels like you are watching your own life play out on a screen while you are stuck entirely behind the glass. It is a very lonely place to be. They call you too sensitive all the time. They tell you that you feel things way too deeply. You have spent your entire life trying to shrink yourself down just to make them feel more comfortable around you. You bite your tongue. You hide your true depth. But the isolation still finds you no matter how hard you try to blend in. The isolation is incredibly heavy right now. It presses down on your chest when you are lying awake at night. You wonder if this is just how your life will always be, and you feel a deep ache because no one around you seems to understand the unique frequency you are operating on. You speak a language they simply cannot hear, but I see you right now. I know the exact pain you have been carrying in silence. The world might ignore your quiet battles, but heaven sees every single tear you shed when you think no one is watching. You are not invisible to me. I see the pure heart you offer to people who take it completely for granted. You are not broken. You are not losing your mind. This strange atmosphere surrounding you is entirely real, and you need to hear this validation deep in your spirit before we go any further into the truth. You have been deeply misunderstood for so long, but that season of blind confusion is finally coming to an end. You have been holding on to a lie. You look at the empty room and you think you are being punished. You believe heaven looked at your mistakes and decided to walk away. And the enemy wants you to stay in that exact mindset. He wants you to believe your current isolation is evidence of your disqualification. He wants you to feel entirely abandoned. But let me reframe your entire reality right now, because the truth is far more beautiful than the deception you have been living in. Your isolation was never a punishment. It was a divine preparation. God did not remove the crowd to abandon you in your darkest moment. He removed the crowd so he could finally speak to you without any earthly interference. Your current isolation is not evidence of your disqualification. It is the undeniable evidence of your selection. Ordinary people are allowed to stay comfortable in the loud crowds. They are allowed to lean on the opinions of everyone around them. But you are not ordinary. You carry a massive assignment that requires complete and utter focus. Look at the sacred texts. Look at the book of Hosea, chapter 2, verse 14. It says, "I will lead her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her." The wilderness is not a place of death for the chosen one. The wilderness is the exact place where the noise of the world finally fades away. It is where you hear the voice of truth. Heaven had to pull you into the quiet wilderness because the people around you were talking too loudly and their fears were starting to drown out your calling. God had to clear the room to protect your frequency. He had to separate you from the very voices that were keeping you small. It was an act of extreme protection. Think about a sterile operating room. When a surgeon is about to perform a life-saving procedure, they do not invite a massive crowd. They clear the room entirely. They scrub the environment to keep out any harmful infection. Your isolation is a spiritual operating room. Heaven is doing deep surgery on your soul right now. You are being purged of your unhealthy attachments. Every single relationship that was draining your energy had to be temporarily severed. God is breaking your dependency on human validation. He is teaching you how to stand completely alone, so that when the time comes, you can finally stand in your true power without shaking. The people who walked away from you recently did not reject you. They were simply vibrating at a completely different frequency that could not handle the shift happening inside your spirit. You were outgrowing the old version of yourself, and they were comfortable with the version of you that stayed quiet and kept the peace. Your pain was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to consecrate you. To consecrate means to set apart for a highly specific and holy purpose. You are being set apart from the noise of the mundane world. You are being prepared to carry a massive weight of glory, a weight that most ordinary people would immediately crumble under. Once you understand this truth, everything begins to change. The heavy silence in your home no longer feels like a haunted prison. It begins to feel like a sacred sanctuary. You stop begging for the wrong people to come back into your life, and you start embracing the profound quiet because you finally know exactly who is in the room with you. Take a deep breath right now. Let the heavy burden of rejection fall off your tired shoulders. You do not have to fight the quietness anymore. Lean into this divine preparation. Trust that the master architect of the universe knows exactly what he is building inside of your spirit today. The foundation must be laid in total silence. Before you go any further into this revelation, I have a small request. Gently press the like button so this blessing can reach someone else who feels isolated tonight. There are thousands of chosen ones sitting in the dark right now. They think they are being punished just like you did. Your simple action can help them find this truth. That is the exact reason this strange season happened to you. Heaven did not orchestrate this isolation to break your spirit. It was designed to carefully prepare you for the massive chapter that is coming next. That is the first thing I promised to reveal to you at the very beginning. The silence you have been running from is actually your greatest weapon, and you just have to stop fighting it today. Think about the greatest leaders in the ancient texts. They never received their massive assignments while standing in the middle of a noisy crowd. Look closely at the story of Moses. Before he ever saw the burning bush, he had to be completely separated from his former life. He spent years tending sheep in the vast and empty wilderness because the profound quiet was absolutely mandatory for his growth. The nation of Egypt was incredibly loud and chaotic. It was filled with constant demands and the heavy expectations of other people. Moses could never hear the voice of the divine while he was surrounded by all that relentless noise. Heaven had to strip him of his former identity before he could move forward. He had to lose his royal status and become a simple shepherd in the quiet desert. He had to learn the profound language of silence. God did the exact same thing to you over the last few days. He pulled you out of your own personal Egypt. He saw that you were drowning in the endless demands of everyone around you. You were giving your energy to people who only wanted to consume your bright light. So, he forcefully cleared the room and removed the distractions, because he needed you to finally pay close attention. This process is very much like a blacksmith working with raw metal. A crucible is a very lonely and painful place. The intense heat of the fire burns away all the hidden impurities. The metal does not understand why it is being subjected to such extreme conditions, and it only feels the burning pain. But the blacksmith knows exactly what kind of beautiful weapon he is forging today. You are sitting inside the spiritual crucible right now. The impurities being burned away are your deep attachments to worldly validation. You used to care so much about what other people thought of you. You constantly wanted to fit into their neat little boxes to keep the peace. But heaven cannot use someone who is constantly seeking permission from ordinary people, so the fire is burning away your desperate need to belong. It hurts to watch people walk away from you. It is painful when the conversations suddenly stop and the room goes cold. But you must understand that those old connections were keeping you grounded in a much lower reality. God had to silence the voices of your peers so you could finally hear the true voice of your calling. If they had stayed around, they would have talked you out of your destiny. They would have looked at your massive assignment and told you it was completely impossible. They would have projected their own deep fears onto your bright and expansive future. Heaven protected you by creating an unbridgeable distance between you and them. You are being equipped for something they cannot even begin to comprehend, and their sudden absence is actually a profound blessing in disguise. The wilderness is never the final destination for the chosen one. It is simply the sacred training ground for your spirit. Moses did not stay in the empty desert forever. He encountered the burning bush, and then he returned to completely change the course of history. Your current isolation is the breeding ground for your ultimate commission, and you are gathering the spiritual strength you need to fulfill your true purpose. Look back at the last 72 hours with this brand new perspective. The heavy atmosphere in your home was not a demonic attack meant to destroy you. It was the thick presence of divine preparation settling over your entire life. The sudden loss of connection was just heaven making room for a much higher alignment, because you are being rewired from the inside out. And once that profound truth clicks into place, you are finally ready for the next layer, because there is something underneath this isolation that goes even deeper than you think. The people pulling away from you are reacting to something very specific. They are sensing a hidden shift in your energy that you have not even fully realized yourself. It is a highly secret frequency activating inside you. If you do not see this deeper root, you will keep trying to fix relationships that heaven intentionally broke. Coming up in just a moment, I will expose this secret frequency and show you exactly why they had to leave. But first, this initial truth must land deep in your spirit. Let it settle like solid bedrock before we move forward into the deeper revelation. Here is that deeper root I promised to reveal to you. The sudden silence from your friends is not a random coincidence. It is a direct reaction to a massive frequency shift happening inside your spirit right now. They are sensing a brand new energy radiating from you, and because they cannot control it, they instinctively pull away to protect their own comfort. You are vibrating at a completely different frequency today. Think about an old radio trying to tune in to a very modern digital station. The old radio will only pick up static because it simply does not have the capacity to receive the higher signal. Your old friends are exactly like that outdated radio right now. They cannot process the profound truth you carry. People are naturally drawn to what feels familiar and safe. When you were broken and constantly seeking validation from others, you made them feel incredibly powerful and entirely in control of your life. But you are healing now. You are stepping into a profound spiritual maturity that requires no earthly permission. This sudden independence is absolutely terrifying to people who secretly wanted to keep you small. The people pulling away are not actually rejecting you. They are simply grieving the old version of you they are about to lose forever. They know deep down that they can no longer manipulate your sensitive heart. This is why the conversations stop the moment you walk into the room. Your mere presence now acts as a bright mirror, and it constantly reflects their own hidden insecurities back at them. Truth is an inherently repelling force to those who love their comfortable illusions. You carry a heavy mantle of truth that disrupts the stagnant atmosphere around you. When you enter a room, the hidden lies and quiet deceptions immediately start to malfunction. People feel this profound disruption deep in their bones, and they instinctively run away even if they cannot explain it with logical words. Heaven is upgrading your spiritual operating system right now. When a computer gets a massive system update, the old software immediately becomes incompatible. Your past relationships are simply that, old software. They can no longer run on your newly upgraded spirit. It hurts to watch them fade away, but you cannot crash your entire destiny just to keep them comfortable. You must stop trying to lower your frequency today. Every time you try to shrink yourself, you feel a deep friction in your soul. That painful friction is the Holy Spirit warning you not to go backward. You are not meant to be the savior for everyone around you. You cannot be the endless dumping ground for their heavy problems. When you have a massive calling, you were meant to carry one specific assignment that only you can fulfill. This requires a level of purity and focus that the mundane world will never understand. So let them walk away without chasing them down the street. Their departure is actually a profound confirmation that your divine activation is working perfectly, and heaven is finally making room for the new season. The isolation is just the evidence of your selection. This frequency shift does not just affect the people around you, it fundamentally alters how you interact with your physical environment every single day. Places you used to visit often suddenly feel incredibly draining and heavy to your spirit. You walk into a crowded room and immediately feel the urgent need to escape because the energy is completely wrong. This is because your spiritual senses are being heightened to an unprecedented level. You are picking up on the hidden motives and quiet intentions of everyone in the room. It is completely overwhelming at first. But this profound discomfort is actually a gift of discernment waking up inside you. You can no longer tolerate fake environments or superficial conversations, and your soul is demanding total authenticity. Heaven is forcing you out of those toxic spaces by making them physically intolerable to your spirit. This is supreme protection disguised as deep discomfort. And once you realize this, you will stop fighting the sudden urge to pull away from the crowd. You will finally understand that your sensitivity is not a weakness at all, but there is a greater secret hidden inside this frequency shift. The exact thing that makes you different is actually hiding a massive weapon. For years they told you that you were just too emotional. They made you believe your profound sensitivity was a tragic flaw you had to carefully manage. Coming up, I will expose what this divine gift really is. But first you must let this reality settle. For your entire life they told you that you were just too sensitive. They looked at your deep emotions and called them a tragic flaw. You actually believed them for a very long time. And you spent countless years trying to forcefully turn off your own heart, simply because you wanted to fit into their comfortable little boxes. You wanted to be comfortably numb like everyone else. But heaven never designed you to be numb or ordinary. The sensitivity they told you to hide is actually a highly tuned spiritual radar. You can feel things before they even happen in the physical world. You walk into a room and instantly read the unspoken energy because your spirit is constantly picking up the hidden frequencies around you. This sensitivity is not a heavy psychological burden. It is a profound and highly strategic divine gift. You pick up on hidden agendas long before people open their mouths. You know when someone is lying straight to your face. And the enemy absolutely hates this specific ability because you constantly expose his quiet deceptions before they can even take root. He wants you to believe this radar is just heavy anxiety. He wants you to medicate your profound spiritual intuition. You thought your deep empathy was a terrible curse. You carried the heavy emotions of strangers, and you constantly wondered why you felt so completely exhausted at the end of every single day. But heaven was secretly training you to discern different spirits. You were learning how to identify the invisible forces operating behind the scenes. You were gathering critical intel for the battles ahead. What you carry inside your spirit is not a wound at all. It is actually a massive and highly effective spiritual weapon. This is exactly why you feel the atmosphere shift so strongly in your home right now. Your radar is currently detecting the massive warfare happening in the heavenly realms, and you are feeling the intense friction of a major spiritual transition. They called you too deep and said you feel things way too intensely. They told you to lighten up and stop taking everything so seriously, but heaven designed you with this specific depth because you have to anchor massive revelations that ordinary people simply cannot comprehend. A shallow spirit cannot hold the profound mysteries of God. Your depth is absolutely required for your calling. You can read the silent pain hidden behind a fake smile. You can sense the quiet despair in someone who claims to be perfectly fine. This is exactly why broken people are always drawn to you in crowded rooms, because your spirit radiates a healing frequency that their wounded souls desperately recognize. You are a walking sanctuary for the deeply broken. But the enemy tried to twist this beautiful gift and use it against you. He overloaded your radar with constant fear and endless worry. He made you believe that every heavy emotion you felt belonged to you. He tricked you into carrying massive burdens that heaven never actually asked you to carry because he wanted to crush you under the sheer weight of empathy. You must understand that anxiety is often just uncalibrated intuition. Once you calibrate your deep sensitivity with divine truth, the endless fear completely vanishes. The heavy burden lifts and the weapon finally activates in your hands. You stop absorbing the darkness from the environment and you start actively commanding the divine light to completely take over the room. Your profound depth gives your spoken words incredible weight in the spirit realm. When you finally speak, the atmosphere around you actually shifts. The sensitivity that made you feel like you were entirely too much is the exact thing that gives you immense spiritual authority. Demons literally flee when you raise your fully calibrated voice. You were never a broken or defective human being. You were simply built for a much higher frequency than the mundane world could ever understand. The intense isolation of the last 72 hours was just a necessary recalibration process. Heaven was forcefully upgrading your radar so you could finally see the invisible war clearly and step into your true power without any earthly distractions. You must embrace this powerful spiritual radar right now. Stop apologizing for feeling things so deeply and stop hiding your true nature. You must stop letting ordinary people dictate the boundaries of your massive spiritual calling. Their limited perception of reality has absolutely nothing to do with your divine assignment, because you answer to the high courts of heaven alone. When you finally accept this weapon, you become a massive threat to the darkness. The enemy knows exactly what happens when a chosen one stops shrinking. He knows that a fully awakened radar can completely dismantle generations of hidden curses. This is precisely why he launched such a relentless attack against your mind this week, because he is absolutely terrified of your true potential. But there is a final piece to this puzzle that you must see. There is a hidden block inside your own heart that the enemy uses to keep you small. In just a moment, I will expose the secret reason he was able to successfully launch this recent attack against your life. But first, you must let the truth of your weapon settle deep in your spirit today. Here is the profound truth about the relentless warfare you are experiencing. The enemy does not waste premium attacks on ordinary people. He is a highly strategic adversary who only deploys his heaviest artillery against the greatest threats. You must look at the intense spiritual warfare in your life through an entirely new lens today. The sheer magnitude of this attack is the undeniable proof of your massive calling. If you were meant to live a small and insignificant life, hell would completely ignore you. The darkness only bothers to surround a light that is bright enough to actually blind it. You have been wondering why everything feels so incredibly heavy and difficult right now. You ask heaven why the resistance is so strong when you are just trying to do the right thing. You are a massive danger to the established order. The kingdom of darkness looks at your future and sees an absolute catastrophe for their plans. They see the generational curses you are about to completely break. They see the exact moment you will finally stand in your full spiritual authority. And because they can see your future impact so clearly, they are desperately trying to abort your mission in the present moment. They want you to quit right before the breakthrough happens. This is precisely why the last 72 hours felt like a concentrated assault on your mind. The heavy atmosphere in your home was a deliberate attempt to suffocate your growing faith. The enemy wanted you to feel entirely isolated so you would sink into a deep depression. He knows that a chosen one who feels abandoned will quickly drop their powerful spiritual weapons. He wanted to disarm you through sheer exhaustion. When direct attacks fail, the enemy always switches to the tactic of deep confusion. He floods your mind with a million different variables. He makes you question your own sanity and your own memory. He uses the sudden silence of your friends to amplify the loud insecurities hiding inside your soul. The entire goal is to make you look inward with heavy scrutiny instead of looking upward with bold and unwavering faith. Hell knows it cannot actually destroy your spirit because heaven has completely sealed you. But if they cannot destroy you, they will try their absolute hardest to completely distract you. If they can keep you heavily focused on who walked away, you will never see the massive door that just opened right in front of you. Your pain becomes a heavy blindfold designed to keep you stumbling in the dark. You must immediately stop analyzing the intense warfare like it is a personal failure. You did not attract this heavy attack because your faith was weak. You attracted this fierce resistance because your spirit is dangerously strong. The friction you feel is simply the massive pushback of a dark world colliding with the kingdom of light you carry inside your heart. The warfare is actually a sacred badge of honor. Think about David before he ever became a mighty king. He was deeply anointed by heaven, but that anointing immediately made him a massive target for the existing kingdom. He had to flee into the caves and live in total isolation. The intense warfare did not mean he lost his divine calling. The attacks actually sharpened his skills and prepared him to properly rule. Your current battle is doing the exact same thing for you. You are standing on the very edge of a massive generational shift. The heavy chains that bound your ancestors are waiting for you to completely shatter them. The enemy attacks you with such intense fury because you are the one chosen to finally end the toxic cycle. If he can stop you right now, he protects his dark investment in your entire bloodline. You are fighting for your future and the freedom of everyone who comes after you. Your spiritual adversaries are not fighting you out of confidence. They are fighting you out of sheer panic. Every time you refuse to stay down, it sends massive shockwaves through the unseen realm. The fact that you are still watching this message is a major victory. It proves that the intense isolation strategy completely failed to break your spirit. You are gathering the exact intel you need to dismantle their entire operation. Once you realize the attack is actually a profound compliment from hell, everything immediately shifts. You stop cowering in the dark corners of your room. You stand up tall because you realize you are holding the winning hand. The enemy is absolutely terrified of the moment you wake up and realize your own strength. He is fighting a desperate and losing battle against the inevitable rise of your powerful spirit today. But there is a very specific reason the enemy was able to land his blows this week. He found a tiny crack in your spiritual armor, and he exploited a secret belief that you have been carrying for many years. It is a quiet block hiding deep inside your own heart. Coming up, I will expose this hidden obstacle. I must show you the part of this battle that no one else wants to talk about. But first, Let the truth of your calling settle deeply. We have examined the external warfare in great detail. We have looked at the relentless attacks coming from the world around you. But now, we must have a conversation that is much more intimate. I need you to lean in close, because here is the part that no one else wants to talk about. Here is the hidden block that has been quietly keeping your breakthrough stuck in neutral. It is the most uncomfortable truth you will ever hear. The enemy has been using your own fear against you. He did not just attack you from the outside. He found a secret agreement you made with your own smallness. And I say this with nothing but pure love in my heart. The thing that has been blocking your breakthrough is not the enemy. It is the fact that some quiet part of you has been deeply afraid of your own power. You have been hiding your true strength to keep other people comfortable. This is not an accusation. It is the diagnosis that finally sets you free. You have spent your entire life dimming your light because you were terrified of the intensity you carry inside. You knew that if you truly unleashed your potential, you would completely shatter the neat little boxes people placed you in. You were scared that your true identity would be too much for the people you loved. So you stayed quiet. You stayed small. You thought you were being humble. You thought you were being kind by not outshining the people around you. But that was never true humility. That was just fear in a cheap disguise. You have been walking around with a massive flame inside your chest, and you have been trying to cover it with a wet blanket just to fit into a room full of people who are freezing in the dark. It was a massive mistake. You are afraid of your own impact. You are terrified of the moment you step into your full spiritual authority because you know things will never be the same. You know that once you start operating at your true frequency, you will lose access to the life you have known. You will lose the ability to play small. You will lose the comfort of being just like everyone else. And that prospect is absolutely terrifying. The enemy used your fear of success against you. He made you believe that if you rose to your true level, you would be left completely alone. He tricked you into believing that your power would destroy your relationships. So you stayed stuck in the cycle of isolation because you were not ready to pay the price of true ascension. You were not ready to step away from the familiar. But look at the cost of that fear. Look at the life you have been living while you keep your spirit caged. You have been suppressing a divine force that was meant to change the world. You have been holding back a river of healing that was supposed to wash over the people who needed you most. Your fear of your own power is actually a selfish act. It is keeping the world from the specific gift that heaven placed in your hands. You have been acting like a king who is terrified of the throne. You walk around with the authority of a ruler, but you keep your head down and you act like a servant to people who were supposed to follow your lead. It is time for you to stop apologizing for the massive weight you carry. You are not responsible for the comfort of people who refuse to grow. You are only responsible for the assignment heaven gave you. This is the diagnosis. This is the root cause of the cycle. You have been making agreements with the lie that you are not enough, when in reality, you have been much more than the room could handle. The enemy knows you are powerful. He is not afraid of your potential. He is terrified of your activation. And he was able to stop you because you were willing to stop yourself first. You have to break this agreement today. You have to walk into your private room and finally admit that you are ready to be fully seen. You have to admit that you are tired of playing the role of the victim when you were actually born to be the victor. You were never meant to be the one who gets overlooked. You were meant to be the one who changes everything. This is the hidden block. It is the fear that your own brilliance would burn down your world. But look at your world today. It is already burning. The isolation is already here. The relationships are already shifting. The old life is already dissolving. You have absolutely nothing left to lose by finally stepping into your true power. You have been waiting for someone to give you permission to be great. You have been waiting for the crowd to finally understand and applaud your transition. But that will never happen. The people who are comfortable with your old self will never approve of your new self. You have to give yourself the authority to rise. You have to be the one who declares that you are finished with being small. When you break this agreement, the enemy loses his greatest weapon against you. He no longer has any leverage when you are no longer afraid of your own intensity. He can no longer manipulate you with the threat of isolation because you have already embraced the solitude as your sacred training ground. You become completely untouchable. You have to see that your fear was the only thing holding the cage door shut. It was never locked from the outside. You have been standing in an open cage the entire time, terrified to step out into the bright light of your true calling. It is time to walk out. It is time to release the weight of your own fear and finally step into the assignment you were born to fulfill. We are reaching the pivotal moment. We are at the critical juncture where your internal reality finally shifts to match your divine destiny. You are not the same person who started this video, and you are not meant to walk backward into what you have already outgrown. This is the moment you have been prepared for. Tonight, before you sleep, you are going to do something that will permanently sever the chain. You are going to place your hand on your heart, and you are going to speak out loud. We are going to release every agreement you ever made with your own smallness. We are going to lock in the final declaration. Get ready, your breakthrough is not coming tomorrow, it is already here. And now we arrive at the pivotal moment. This is the exact critical juncture where everything finally shifts. You have seen the hidden block inside your soul. You have looked your deepest fears right in the eye. And you are still standing here today. The enemy threw his absolute best weapons at your mind this week, but you did not break. You are ready to close the door on that dark chapter forever. This is your moment of total liberation. It is not happening tomorrow. It is not happening when you finally feel completely ready. It is happening right now in this exact room. The wait is entirely over. Heaven has already authorized this profound transition for your life. All you have to do is simply step up and claim the verdict that was written for you. The universe is holding its breath. I want you to do something physical right now. Stop whatever you are doing and place your hand directly over your heart. Feel the steady rhythm beating inside your chest. That heartbeat is the undeniable proof that your massive assignment is still completely active. Take a deep breath in. Let the heavy burden of the last 72 hours completely fall away from your tired shoulders. You are going to declare this with me out loud. The spoken word carries incredible spiritual authority. When you speak these words into the atmosphere, you are actively dismantling the invisible chains that held you back. Do not whisper this quietly. Speak it with the firm authority of someone who finally knows exactly who they are. Repeat these words after me right now. I release the desperate need to be understood by everyone. I release every single agreement I made with my own smallness. I will no longer apologize for the intense depth I carry inside my soul. I forgive myself for dimming my bright light just to keep ordinary people comfortable. That version of me is completely gone. I sever the ties to every toxic relationship that drained my energy. I step into my true divine assignment today. I recognize that my intense isolation was a sacred preparation, and it was never a punishment. I am fully equipped for the massive calling on my life. I command the heavy anxiety to completely leave my mind right now. My sensitivity is a powerful weapon of light. It is not a heavy curse that I have to carry anymore. I accept the mantle that heaven placed upon my shoulders. I am not the misunderstood outcast. I am the chosen one. I have been consecrated and set apart for a specific and glorious purpose. I do not need earthly permission to take my rightful place in this world. My breakthrough is not slowly coming toward me. It is already here. It is already moving powerfully inside my spirit. Let those words settle deep into your bones. Feel the profound shift happening in the room around you. The heavy atmosphere that was pressing down on your chest is completely gone. The thick fog of confusion has finally lifted. You have just drawn a permanent line in the sand, and the kingdom of darkness heard every single word you just spoke. You are completely untouchable now. You are no longer standing between two different identities. The old version of you has officially dissolved into the past. The completely integrated warrior has finally emerged. You are now operating on a frequency that fear cannot even begin to penetrate. The profound peace you feel right now is the undeniable confirmation from heaven. The massive spiritual surgery was an absolute success. You might feel a little bit lightheaded right now. You might feel a sudden rush of warm energy flowing through your entire body. That is the physical sensation of heavy chains finally breaking off your spirit. You have carried the massive weight of other people for so many years. You carried their quiet expectations and their loud fears. But you just dropped all of that heavy baggage on the floor. You are incredibly light today. You are free to finally move at the speed of your divine calling. And I want you to remember this exact feeling of supreme clarity. The next time the enemy tries to isolate you, you will not panic. You will simply smile because you know he is just terrified of your rising power. You will welcome the quiet wilderness like an old and trusted friend. Some messages do not just pass along information. Some messages are sent to permanently activate your spirit. And if something stirred deep inside your soul just now, you are officially ready for what comes next. This profound shift is not just for today. This is the new baseline reality for the rest of your life. You are stepping into a massive season of unending abundance. Every door that was wrongfully shut in your face is about to swing wide open. The opportunities that felt impossibly far away are quietly moving toward you right now. You do not have to exhaust yourself by chasing down your breakthrough anymore. Your massive breakthrough is currently tracking you down. It is finding its way to your front door because your frequency finally matches the blessing. You are about to see rapid acceleration in every single area of your life. The years that the enemy stole from you will be completely restored. The relationships that heaven broke will be replaced by divine connections. You will finally meet people who can actually hear the language of your soul. They will not ask you to shrink. They will constantly challenge you to expand your beautiful light. This is exactly what it means to walk in your true calling. You become a walking sanctuary for the truth. Your mere presence will begin to heal the broken spaces around you. But you must guard this new frequency with your entire life. Do not let anyone drag you back down into the muddy waters of mundane drama. You have ascended to a much higher spiritual altitude today. And if you felt the undeniable truth of these words, land in a place that human logic cannot reach, then this message was meant for you specifically. Heaven orchestrated this exact encounter to pull you out of the dark trenches. You are a vital part of a massive spiritual awakening happening across the globe right now. There are other chosen ones waking up at this exact same moment. You are entirely supported by the unseen realm. You are completely protected by the divine forces of heaven. The hard season of isolated preparation is officially complete. The heavy tools of the crucible have been put away. The blacksmith has finished forging his greatest masterpiece. You are the sharp and shining weapon that is about to change the entire world. The profound peace you are feeling right now is completely real. It is the undeniable evidence that your spirit has finally aligned with your massive divine assignment, and you are exactly where heaven wants you to be today. The heavy confusion that clouded your mind over the past 72 hours is completely gone, and tomorrow morning you are going to wake up feeling entirely different because the spiritual friction has ceased. The long season of painful preparation is officially complete. You survived the intense isolation that should have completely broken your spirit, but it did not destroy you at all. It actually developed you into a brilliant warrior of light, while you were sitting entirely alone in the very dark and quiet wilderness. You can finally take a deep breath and rest your tired soul. You do not have to constantly fight for your place in this world anymore. Heaven has already carved out a specific territory that belongs exclusively to you. No enemy and no toxic relationship can ever take it away from your hands. You are stepping into a beautiful season of profound clarity and divine grace, and the path ahead of you is illuminated by a very bright light. When you walk outside tomorrow, the air will feel incredibly light and crisp. You will look at the exact same world, but you will see it through completely upgraded spiritual eyes. The people who walked away will no longer occupy your thoughts. You will only feel deep gratitude because heaven protected you by quietly clearing the crowded room before the enemy could launch his final attack against your mind. This is what it truly means to walk as a chosen one. You carry a frequency that naturally repels the darkness and effortlessly attracts the divine light. You are a living sanctuary for truth and a beacon for the deeply broken. Never apologize for the profound depth and the beautiful sensitivity that heaven carefully placed inside your heart when you were created. You are a masterpiece. If you ever feel the shadow of doubt creeping back into your mind, just remember this exact moment. Remember the firm declaration you spoke into the atmosphere today. You possess the supreme authority to silence the enemy whenever he whispers lies. Your fully calibrated voice is the most powerful weapon you will ever need to win this war. There is a massive community of chosen ones waking up all around the world right now. You are absolutely not alone in this profound spiritual journey. Thousands of brilliant souls are currently experiencing the exact same frequency shift that you just went through. Heaven is gathering a mighty army of sensitive warriors to completely change the earth, and you are a vital part of this beautiful global awakening. I want you to help me find the rest of our beautiful tribe today. Share this message with someone who has always been called too sensitive or too quiet. Send it to a beautiful soul who is currently sitting in the dark and wondering why they feel so incredibly isolated. Your simple action could be the exact lifeline they desperately need tonight. We have to shine our lights together so the ones lost in the wilderness can finally find their way home. Leave a comment below and type the word yes if you fully accept your divine assignment. Let your public declaration serve as a shining beacon of hope for everyone else. They scroll through the quiet comments looking for some real validation. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications right now. You do not want to miss the next major revelation about who you really are. The enemy works relentlessly to systematically bury these profound truths, but we will continue to boldly expose his quiet deceptions together as a unified front. Our spiritual journey is only just beginning to unfold in real time. You are a masterpiece of divine architecture. Every tear you ever shed was carefully collected and used to water the massive seeds of your current breakthrough. Do not ever let a mundane world convince you that you are ordinary or broken. You were chosen before the very foundations of the earth were ever formed in the dark cosmos, and your destiny is completely secure in the hands of the divine creator. Close your eyes for just a brief moment and feel the warm embrace of heaven surrounding you. The heavy armor you have been wearing can finally be placed on the ground. You are completely safe inside this new and elevated frequency. The massive spiritual war over your identity has been fought, and you have emerged completely victorious today because you finally remembered your true divine nature. The upcoming days will bring a series of quiet miracles into your physical reality. You will start to notice small synchronicities that prove heaven is actively ordering your daily steps. A sudden opportunity will arrive out of nowhere, and it will perfectly match the brand new energy you are radiating. You will not have to force anything to happen. People of high spiritual caliber will begin to gravitate toward your bright light. They will look at your deep sensitivity, and they will recognize it as supreme wisdom. You will finally experience what it feels like to be truly seen and deeply valued without having to perform or shrink yourself down just to be loved. Authentic connection is your new baseline. As you step forward into this brand new chapter, remain fiercely protective of your inner peace. Do not grant access to people who constantly drain your sacred energy reserves. Your time and your focus are incredibly valuable resources that belong entirely to the kingdom of light, so you must steward your beautiful gifts with uncompromising boundaries every single day. The deep aching loneliness that haunted your past is officially eradicated. Even when you are sitting alone in a quiet room, you will feel the profound companionship of the Holy Spirit. The empty space around you is now filled with massive angelic protection and divine favor. You are surrounded by an invisible army that never sleeps or slumbers. I am incredibly proud of the immense spiritual strength you demonstrated this week. It takes a truly massive amount of courage to face your own hidden blocks and completely shatter them. Heaven is rejoicing over the beautiful integrated warrior you have finally become. The old heavy chains are broken and the prison doors are wide open for you, meaning you are finally free to run toward your glorious future without any heavy baggage. Go forward with absolute confidence and unwavering faith in your calling. The world desperately needs the exact unique medicine that only your soul can provide. Never forget that you are a chosen vessel of profound truth and massive divine light. The long wait is over and your glorious assignment officially begins right now. So walk in total peace and let your brilliant light shine for everyone to see.